My name's Jennifer Dono, and I take planning Christmas very seriously. I'm using Trello, which is a free project management software program that you can use online, and I'm building a board all around Christmas planning. I plan my life projects within Trello, whether it's YouTube, cleaning, meal planning, it's all in Trello, and I've done that since maybe 2012, and I haven't had any complaints about Trello. Right now, what I'm trying to do is just make the board aesthetically pleasing. I'm going to be planning a few different sections. This is going to be about a 15-minute video. I've made a video already on my Thanksgiving planning, which I did a very similar manner of planning. And then I just did a video too where I completed a physical piece of paper type layout of tracking for some of the projects that I'm going to be focusing on here that I'm mapping out in the Trello board. The joy of Christmas is really what I'm trying to focus on, joy and peace and the magic of the season. And unfortunately, that doesn't just happen. It takes a lot of planning. So as a mom of the house, I have 2 boys, a husband. It's really my responsibility, or I've taken it upon myself to make sure that the season is magical and that we have that feeling of joy in the house. I'm setting up all the different boards. This is what we're going to be going over. And I do this little countdown manually here that you see me setting up in the list. And each day I go in and adjust it. And it's just, again, like the calendar that I had in that physical planner. It's just a time where I can just make sure that I'm putting my attention on the board. I'm making a physical adjustment. So it's something within my mind that just jogs it, that this is important to me. 32 days until Christmas, 39 days until 2021. If you get the reference for the Twilight Zone, then we can be best friends. Because that's a tradition that we have in New Year's that I've had since a kid. We watched Twilight Zone. Anyway, moving on. And of course, Elf is just really fun. And then those are important to me too. The gifs and the fun images that I use, all of this, like I talked about in the Thanksgiving plan. All of the aesthetically pleasing anecdotes to the board is important to me because it makes it pleasing to the eye and something I'll continue to go into every day. Listing important dates is great just as far as celebrating the season goes and making sure that you have different points of excitement or things to look forward to, but also I use these in our homeschooling I have for the past couple years. And even when the kids were young, and plus as an adult, it's just fun, especially going through the artist's way. I just realized how important it is to do things for yourself, regardless of kids or family members participating. It's just nice to have those little. Now, assigning all these holidays to the calendar is really nice because I can then go in and sync it to my Google Calendar so I get notifications in that way as well. I'm putting reminders because a lot of these things I'm going to be collecting information. So for example, St. Nicholas Day, we'll be reviewing who St. Nicholas was, and I'll put any resources I use within that Trello card. When I sync it to the Google Calendar, it'll have a link directly to the Trello card. So on the day of, I can just open up that card, grab any YouTube videos or worksheets to print out for the kids, and we can have fun and celebrate that day. And that goes for any weird traditions and things like that. Or maybe for cookie day, I save cookie recipes, that type of a thing. But it's also nice too to see the flow of the month and where we're going to be busier and how that falls into my weekly rhythm too, because I have assigned days for cleaning and I can then understand what it is that I need to prepare and when I need to prepare it in advance. The holidays daily flow is really important. I think this is the keystone of this whole board. As I mentioned in my last video about planning for, I was doing time or a tracking type method for my passion planner. I changed the passion planner up. I talked about how I'm trying to get into the 5 a.m. club. It's really difficult for me, but I'm making headway and I'm getting there. The hardest part is just going to bed early, which I think a lot of you can understand. I don't think I'm alone in this. I set up a daily flow because I just need to have a healthier balance, especially with the holidays and the stress and everything that can go into it. And especially Christmas 2020, because this is just weird new territory. And I just want to make sure that I have control over how I experience my days. So I went ahead and made that daily flow, and I'm going to try my best to follow it. Now the next piece is, and this is the same thing that I did last year, and I'm doing this again and I'm sharing it with you because it was effective. I included also a 20 things before 2020. This year I'm doing 21 things before 2021. They're things that'll set me up going into the new year to have a good year. So it's creating momentum. With that, there's some things that are less fun, like creating a master file, but again, something that's important to set up for a successful year. And then there's things that are a little bit more fun, like doing the Christmas around the world with the boys. But I went through and I just thought about, ideally, what are things that I can get done in the next 30 days. When I set this up, it was like 45 days or so. And I've already gotten a few of the things done. And you'll see me note that with the labels within Trello, which you can use, but you can also assign due dates, which you'll see me do in a second too. And that's another important thing. These are kind of like mini goals. And with that, I always try and make them smart and have a specific task where I know that I have completed it. I've already written out this 21 things list and I try and refine it as I go. And these are still not even perfect where I can say, oh, I've completed this. But then I also set a timeline or a time that I need to have it done by. So you'll see me go in here and set due dates in just a second. And again, all of this is going onto my calendar. I can see too if I'm ever confused about how much I'm putting on myself at a certain time. I can go into that calendar view, which is just a power up within Trello. Also, setting the reminders for a couple days in advance just to let myself know. And some of these things are like continuous items that I have to do every day. And again, going into the Passion Planner, it's kind of nice that I set that up as a tracker so that I can track all of those aspects. Setting my 2021, I don't know how to say that. It's early. So setting my goals is one of the things that I did. And I talked about this in my last video. I ended up doing goals for the 12 months, looking at it as more of like projects per month. And I'm not doing a strict project, one project each month, one goal each month to focus on. But I am putting time to focus on or assigning time in a span of time for next year. Because there's things that I didn't get to this year that are fun, but I never assigned a time. Like I kept pushing it off. So I like the idea that I know, oh, in September, that's when I'm going to focus on that goal. Even though I could be working towards it throughout the month, I have a time that that's the go time. And of course, if we've learned anything from this year, it's about being flexible and using pencil in your planners. So again, I'm setting the due dates and making sure that I have time to prepare for it. And then of course you can go in there and make changes, but it's just nice to have a time. It's nice to have everything mapped out, I guess, in the month. And then I did have a date with Shane. We celebrated 15 years of marriage. We got sushi out and watched a movie at home because, you know, all the stuff that's going on. So I'd like to have another date by the end of the year. That was our first one since February, our first time by ourselves, which I'm sure a lot of you can understand. So now I'm going into my random acts of kindness list. This is another important thing that I started doing last year, which is instead of doing a traditional advent calendar, the boys got little actions to do to promote kindness and to promote the reason for the season. I went ahead and researched this online. As you could see, I had a couple of resources linked onto this card. And then I started writing down all of those ideas, collecting them in a checklist on Trello. And so I have that on the board where I can go to when I'm creating this project. So this is something that I have assigned in that 21 things to do before 2021 when it's due. So I can see that in my Google Calendar when I review it every morning. And I can prepare for it. So I think I'm doing this by Saturday, where I'm creating beginning on Sunday, I want to say it's the 29th on Sunday. Beginning on Sunday, the kids will open up one card. And I think you might have seen the image quickly, shoot across the screen, that I saw this other cool way of doing like a paper bag for items. And there are a couple like gifty type things that I have set aside for the kids to open for the advent calendar. And that's items that are just meant to experience the season just a little bit with a little bit more fun, I guess. I don't know. So I like the idea of putting in like paper bags. I don't know, maybe I do the paper bags for the supplies, for the things, little assignments, that type of thing. I don't know. But this was the way that this video that I'd gone off of, her method and how she used the black pages and the instructions on the other side. That's what we did last year, and I hung it up as part of our decor, and it was really cute. I might do that again. So going into the next one, my next list is my wish list. And this is something I saw someone else include in their planner for Christmas, and I just thought, what a brilliant idea. Rather than doing like a gift wish list though, it's more of a, what are my intentions for the Christmas season? Because I think we go into it just wanting to feel good and not being specific about how it is that we want to feel good, how that's going to come about. And so I've set some intentions for myself. What are some things that I really wish for? And I included this too in my physical planner when I'm going in to track. Again, all of these things are more of like touch points. So whenever I go in to track something in my physical planner, I'll see, oh yeah, this was my intention for this season. How well am I holding up to it? On here, it's again, just making sure this is more of like my brainstorming board and keeping track of everything and less like presentation type thing. But as I go in to adjust the date for the countdown, and I go in for resources for homeschool and for recipes and all that other fun stuff, I'll see my wish list there. Now going into Christmas around the world planning, I'm not going to get into that yet, but that's an important thing that we've done over the last couple years, and the kids have always really enjoyed it. This year, they're not so crazy about it, so I'm still trying to figure out what it is that we are going to do that's fun and some kind of fun quarantine spin on it where we can do it virtually. There's so many resources available right now for that, so I'm really excited to try and get creative with my Christmas around the world experience. And I think I'm going to make a video about homeschooling around holidays because especially this season, there are so many opportunities to create kind of timely learning experiences. Now with this list, I'm talking about Vlogmas. My focus or my goal, my project, my major definite purpose in December is to do 30 videos in 30 days. Which I have never been really that successful with in the past, but the Artist Way has me inspired and I feel like I can get it done this time. So I'm just trying to set myself up for success. I have a video coming out on Friday or Saturday about my content calendar and my process for creating Vlogmas. And then getting ready checklist. So these are all little items that again, I'll go over in my Vlogmas video. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, do all those fun YouTube video things. I'd love to connect with you. This is what my one social media platform I participate in is YouTube. So I really I love the community. It was very intentional that I'm still here on YouTube. So going through my checklist, this is more of the planning for getting the videos done. So more like specific things. Those are more high level items in the getting ready card. Below this, I have more of a cheat sheet up on top where I'm going to fill in kind of like a little worksheet for myself and I can copy and paste things for each video. And this below in the checklist is more items that will just ensure that I get those videos done every day by having everything prepared. And with it, some of them are more of like fun things. So I can wrap it up into a little project bow and just have more fun with it. Such as creating like a channel cover, like a video bumper that's more of a holiday feel. I don't think it's totally necessary, but it just sounded like fun at the time. And then going in, changing due dates, I added again so I can have it onto my calendar to know that by the 30th, I want to start those 30-day video projects. I don't know if I'm going to start before then but that's kind of like, I have to have it started by then, or maybe December 1st, and I can go through the month of December. Those are things I probably should already know, but I don't. I have a list of video ideas that I'm going off of for Vlogmas too that I've always wanted to do or that I have just like top of mind type things that I want to chat about or actually execute and then share the results with you. But we'll see. I think this list is going to change. The nice thing about Trello is that you can move cards around, you can add notes, you can of course remove it easily, and then I don't know, it's just a really nice flexible tool to use as far as project management goes. Some of the fun ones, I definitely want to do a lot of plan with me because that is really the focus of this channel. But along with that, I want to, just because it is a 30-day video and this is a brand new channel. I mean, it's not new in the sense that it was just created, but I'm just like actually trying to create content on it as of this summer when I started The Artist's Way. So I feel like there's a lot of wiggle room for trying out ideas and just having fun as far as creativity goes. Now my budget is all in a Google Drive spreadsheet, and so I just attached it onto that card for easy access, and I added a fun GIF because Scrooge, I don't know, I don't want to be Scrooge, but I just thought that was kind of cute. And then creating a Christmas bucket list. Now that's something that I've seen a lot of YouTubers do lately, and I'm excited I did this a little bit last year. With Halloween, what I added was activities just for me. It was actually really cool. I did some of them for Halloween, and I wouldn't have done them unless I had planned to in advance. I wouldn't have taken the time for myself, but I had that on my list and I held myself accountable for it. With this bucket list, I'm going to make a standalone video too that goes over some of the plans that we have for Christmas as far as doing fun events to hold myself accountable to you and also just to talk about it because it's kind of fun. Now, I did some research around the different activities because obviously with quarantine and restrictions, Christmas activities are going to look different this year. So I did some research ahead of time to see what that would look like. One of the biggest things that we're going to make a focus around is our movie nights though. This is something that we did a lot of since March. I think a lot of families are in the same boat where you're really making a focus around movies in the family. And we've discuss some ideas of how to upgrade those movie nights, and I think it's going to be really fun. The activities for me, I did do some research to see what resorts are doing spa-days. I'm pretty excited about that. I might even incorporate the kids in on that one too. I'm going to continue to add ideas to that, but my main thing that I want to do for me is just do a lot of reading and like fun romance novels, nothing serious. Going on for our upgraded movie nights, so that list got a little boost as far as the title goes too. Our movie nights, these are all things, I essentially copied it over from last year's list. We watched the majority of the things that were on the list last year. But there are a couple, like the Christmas Chronicles has a second one coming out, and I know Netflix just added a bunch of new movies too that I'll have to go through and add. Now, one of the important things for movie nights is that I go ahead and get all of the research done in advance so that when it comes to the night we're going to watch the movie, I don't have to try and figure out where the movie is, and I can also add that to our budget to see if there's anything that we have to rent. Usually in Christmas movies, there is very little we have to actually purchase, especially with like YouTube TV. You can add things, you can save items to watch, we can find things on YouTube, through the library, if you go to decider.com, it has a lot of information, Amazon Prime, you know the drill. So along with that, what I'll do is start saving movie posters to it and utilize that in our upgraded movie space that will include all of the fun information on there. The meal plan, I'm going to list out all the most important meals, but throughout the month of December, I want to just have fun with our meals. Keep things easy, but also just like themed wherever I can without having to spend a lot of money. And of course, staying healthy because that's one of my intentions for this season. So I'm just collecting recipes here. The Jamie Oliver, his vegan Christmas dinner is a staple at our house. It's so good. And it's really fun to cook too. To finish this off, I sync that calendar from Trello over to my Google Calendar in a Christmas board or a Christmas calendar so that everything is color coded and I know where that's coming from, and you can link to the Trello card like I was saying. So everything is there at my fingertips. It's all easy to access no matter where I am, from my phone, my desktop. And then I added some of those important dates over to Passion Planner. that's my Christmas planning. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you around on the channel as I start to create the 30 days, 30 videos project. And I would love to connect with you in the comments. Like I said, YouTube is my place.